we still have no clue what's going on inside this game. Hey, sorry about that. I'm back now. We're gonna go into Roottrees are dead. Do you know why? It's my time. Listen, tomorrow I'll be at your mercy because we're programming, okay? Which means effectively that I get you shamed, and also that, in a way, you can psyop me with more of your programming ideas. This game is great too because this game is like, how do I say this? The way that the game flows, because you set your own pace, it's very nice for streaming because you get that, like, you know, back and forth with chat while you also get to focus on solving a problem. So your mind is busy, your hands are busy, but you still get the ability to switch and like pick and choose what you want to do at the moment, and so you never really feel locked in, which is nice. And also, it's starting to evolve into something very scary. So last time I was like, okay, well, maybe Guy Hudson isn't really the best person out there. Maybe he's got some problems, but maybe he just likes a lot of sex. And then we hear that Christine Garland was a secretary. She wasn't really into swinging, but her husband and Guy, in a way, kind of like probably pushed her towards it, and now she has 2 kids, and it seemed like she had to go back working as a secretary. And we know that they had money troubles after their business opened. That makes me reevaluate Guy in a new light. Okay? Now, Guy is an interesting character because we don't really know how deep the web goes, but we know roughly that he slept with at least all of his business partners. Now, presumably, the Roottree company is much more powerful than any other company out there at the moment that they would be working with. So all the other companies are hoping to work with them as a subsidiary. And in a way, it paints a whole different light. I was thinking initially at first, maybe it's fine because it's like, you know, business owners being a part of a business owner's scheme, and business owners sort of like colluding with each other to have sex, right? Which is to say, maybe they're just hanging out, right? But they're not on equal footing. I had this thought while I was off stream, and I was thinking to myself, if they're not on equal footing, and the way that they treat each other is that Guy Hudson says, well, if you want this business deal, you have to have sex with me. It's a bit of a power imbalance in the way that he abuses his position to effectively, you know, do that. And that's a very terrible thing to do. So that's my current working theory right now for Guy. I'm hoping it's wrong, but with the way that Christine Garland was, I'm reevaluating, for instance, what happened with Langston Yu, with Robin Martin, and potentially even with Sonia Suarez. So, and whoever else was there. You recorded me. You sent to Discord. Oh, perfect. Let me just... Okay, so for context, we were playing Aliens for him. I know we just got into this game, but I really want to hear what I sounded like as we were playing the game. I'm gonna show the entire Discord, okay? So, and we're just gonna... Listen, this is your time to say hello, YouTube. What is this noise? What do I sound like? What is this?
I'm sorry, who did I shoot?
It really does sound like I'm on the radio saying sorry. It sounds like old Source games.
I'm sorry, who did I shoot? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you. I'm sorry, it was a loading screen.
The computer's up and running. The colony's reactor was knocked offline by the swarm attack.
Problem. Well, thank you for playing, chat. That was a fun time. That was good. That was a very solid game.
It's so low quality. It's so low quality. Thank you, chat. Thank you. It's good. Yeah, that's really good. I can see why you guys... I can see why everyone was saying I sound like I'm on the radio. Oh, that's really good. I'll figure out how to do the filter live someday, because that is funny. Thank you for joining me for that Alien Swarm thing. That was a fun little action break, right? Because we had that small action break, and then we go into like this like more complicated game. It's like a nice reset of the mind from the Half-Life 2 stuff too. That also kind of continues on from the Half-Life 2 stuff because it's all like based off of the various things that were going on, like the whatchamacallit, the idea of like Valve and modding, right? That whole ecosystem. So it was nice. Also, that photo, I'm actually realizing the reason why we have this photo. Think about it. Why is she... Like, where is this character? Where are they? It's a magazine. They're here. And where are they? Presumably, it's the... So these are Guy Hudson, Zach, shaking hands. The presidents, right? This desk looks like a receptionist desk. And what do we know about Christine? She was the secretary. Presumably, this is Christine over here with Guy Hudson, which means every time, and again, we know that Guy Hudson propositioned people for sex and probably in many ways pressured them for it too when he finished a business deal. So presumably, this is when it went down. I'm assuming that that's Christine. That's my assumption, at least, that that's Christine. I think she's still a secretary. I don't know how this locks in. I think this one is probably that it doesn't lock in per person now, and you probably only lock in when you get an entire sequence of things. So we don't know we're correct until the very end, probably. Or maybe we need 5. I'm not really sure. But I think we're on a good roll, and we're good at. I think we know what's going on and what, in general, the bigger picture of what's happening with the guy's life here. I just need to now place the 5 people who I determined at some point was the people that he had sex with, or exerted a level of influence that is utterly deplorable and confounding. As well, as I do this, I now get into the topics that I've been waiting for. So today we had a cold open, okay? Because this game is very good for talking about these things. My niece has an internship with a pharmacy. So, yes, you know what I mean? Good shit, finally. She's doing great. As well, I had this thought in my mind. Last time when everyone psyoped me in various things, during American Truck Simulator, I realized that I'm like an AI. So, I understand now why you said that I was like an AI. Where is the section? Because if you mention, say, programming languages, or you say, like, what's my opinion of Rust, and what's the 3 languages that I would learn, I have the same answer every single time. And I go into this long-winded rant. And in fact, it happened today as well. When the stream started, I went immediately into a long-winded rant about my public transit system, and how it continually fails every year, despite the fact that snow is a yearly occurrence. Somehow, my public transit system is never ready for snow, and they never seem to understand that it will snow again the next year. And so maybe they should prepare for the snow that happens once a year every year, that's going to happen more and more as global warming takes over, right? And yet they won't. Where is that? I wrote down exactly like 5 people that I thought he had sex with. This is what I mean by we need a search bar. Or maybe I don't need a search bar. Maybe I need to have less things written down. There's something to be said about the system of... It's like highlighting your notes, right? If you highlight everything and everything's important, then nothing's really important. And thus you never really know. My favorite, most discursive AI TSKR. Well, I was thinking of other topics too. I was thinking to myself, one, for those of you who don't know, last night, or yesterday really, was the America versus Canada 4 Nations game. So the 4 Nations game, I think it's like a whole new thing. It's at least it's the first time that I've heard of it, where it's your 4 nations fighting each other in the hockey. And immediately within the first 10 minutes, there were 3 fights. So for people who have never seen it before, hockey, like you can just, you're allowed to fist fight people. You can't kill someone, you know, which is kind of boring. It's not like, it's unlike MMA, you can't possibly kill someone, so it's kind of boring, right? But it's still kind of cool that you can throw your stick down, throw your gloves away, and challenge someone to a fight. On the ice, and it's fine. Like, it's fine for people to fight. And then what you see is the referee saying, no, let them cook, as the game is going up on the sides. Boring. Omega lol. Where did I talk about this 5-parters? What? I need to find this. Yeah, what's up with hockey and the fights? I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know the history. I just remember that it happened. And that it continually happens. I assume it's some traditional thing that just was carried over, but also it makes more sense than, you know, because it's a physical sport. Like, it's pretty heavy. When you body check someone hard, like, it can be pretty dangerous, right? So it's better for them to just punch each other, and then, you know, sit out for like a bit, and then come back in. Then they won't punch each other again. But this time in particular, right? It's A, the game is very intense. And then B, it's also with all the American and the Canadian stuff, it's pretty cool to like see. You recently learned it was part of the rules. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but yeah, fighting is inside the rules. Like, it's officially a part of the rules. So when you see people going crazy on each other, on the ice during a hockey game. It's a part of the rules, and it's actually. Oh, here we go. It was here. Sorry, I completely misread this. And there's actually a way that you're supposed to do it, and you're not supposed to, like, you can't go too hard. If someone falls, then you stop it. I think it's like you have to like, you can get close, and then once you're close, you can like grab them, but only with one hand, and you can only throw like a couple of punches, and then you're like done. Yeah, like I've only ever heard it as a blowing off steam thing, but listen. I would just fight constantly. I've even heard of this idea where some teams have like a professional fighter, where they have a single person whose whole role is to fight people. Like imagine, okay? Imagine someone steals the puck and you challenge them. You know, like drop that puck right now. Let's duel. Like sorry, you know that game that we were just playing, hockey, the one where you have a puck and you play with your stick and it follows through? Okay, drop it, come on, fight me. And whoever wins, it's like, alright, woo. Like, but the thing is, like, fighting doesn't change anything. All fighting does is both teams lose one player. Obviously, it depends on some roles, like if you lose a certain player, then it's bad. But I've never seen a goalie go into a fight, and I don't think most players would, just out of courtesy, right? Because it's kind of, it's kind of bad. Or at least they would all stop to watch because it's kind of funny. But and also because the goalie is usually like fully covered up, like the body arm is very hard to move in. So, but yeah, it's just funny to me that like you can just stop everything for a fight. And what's even funnier is that the game can kind of continue around the fight. So all the time, like people are just playing hockey, and everyone else is just like like dealing with a puck. And in the middle of the ice, there's like two people going for a fist fight, and the referee has to clear space for them. Goalies missing out. You know what it is? Okay, do you think the goalies feel that way? Like, do you think a hockey goalie feels like that they're missing out? Or do you think they recognize and they feel better about the fact that they're not getting punched in the face? Because a puck moves at a very fast pace, right? You have to catch that thing, and it's gonna bruise you, okay? Goalies are the cucks of the team. I wish I was out there fighting. Oh man, I'm just looking at them fight. This isn't fair. I think as a goalie, I think they really enjoy not being beat up constantly. Because again, like you just get beat up constantly. Your body's already sore from all the fighting, from all the pucks, right? And then you get punched in the face too. Like that doesn't sound like a fun time. That's what a cuck would say. I think you're right. Maybe I'm just not made to be like a goalie, right? Maybe I'm not made to be like a hockey player. To be fair, I know I'm not made to be a hockey player because I'm not good at sort of surviving on the ice. Like I'm not good at keeping up the pace. I'm not good at stopping on ice, and I wouldn't be able to play the game after taking like 5 headshots. I feel like you would be concussed on some level, and it is kind of funny to think that they just let the players play. Though again, they do play it fairly safely, so it's not the craziest thing ever. But again, it is funny. It's just very, very funny to me. It's just the constant fighting. This was made after, by the way. This was made after Roottrees Brazil, so I was wrong here. This should be after. Oops. After. Last time you played hockey, someone ran over your fingers. Do you still have them, or are they gone? To be fair, like the skates aren't the sharpest thing, but they're sharp enough still that it would be terrifying. You know, they're sharp enough that it would hurt you. You still have them. Good. All 11. Wait a minute. And the best part too is that you know. Let's say you have all of that, right? And you have all your fingers. You can continue to play hockey. And let's say you lose fingers, right? Think about this. Look at baseball. Only one hand needs 5 fingers. Let's say you lose all your left hand fingers, or let's say you lose all of your non-dominant hand fingers, right? You can still play baseball. So in a way, you have like job security. I know who he had sex with. I'm gonna name every person that Guy Hudson had sex with. He had sex with a Susie, which is probably a Suzanne. Or a Susan. I'm pretty sure it's like a Susan something. I don't know who it is, but Susan. He had sex with a Susan, who was his mistress, Susan. I know who you had sex with. Imagine you walk into the room and that's the first thing that you hear. I know who you had sex with. It's like, whoa, what? Now, but the problem is that, was Australia before or after China? Like, did he have yellow fever or no? Kind of like I am, again, like we don't really know who this guy is. He could be awful in many different ways, right? But was it before or after that he had a taste of someone like me, right? I'm gonna say, here, we'll do this. How would this work? So Australia, summer 1979. China Roottrees during the late 70s. You know what? This is I can probably figure this out from when he handed it off to his daughter. To Lang Xinyu. Here we go. Oh, the other topic that I was thinking of. I don't know enough about the outside world anymore. I think I used to. I used to be very connected with the outside world, but I'm realizing that for me to be a better streamer, I'm going to have to leave my house more and like do more things, right? Because the problem, I think, when you like, let's say you have a streamer that you really enjoy watching, but they never talk about anything, right? So it's like hours of silence. Why would you watch them? You know what I mean? And like, if they had no experience in life, why would you even listen to them? Like, if I say I know you, like, imagine me saying I know who you had sex with, and you say, but you never had sex. You know what I mean? Same feeling. I need to go out there and do more things. Therefore, I'm going to quit streaming. Just kidding. I'm going to quit streaming, go back to real life. But I'm realizing, like, the amount of life that you need to draw material on to make a live show is complicated. Real life is scary. It's scary and it's time consuming. Yeah. Because here's the thing, right? Not only is it scary, you need to spend all of your time in real life to get the most benefit from real life, right? AKA, you need to spend more than 2 hours outside doing, say, groceries or on the bus. You have to, like, do things, right? The problem is that controversial opinion incoming. Comedians have it easy, okay? Comedians, once a week, you go on stage, you say 99% the same jokes, you say 1% one new joke, people laud you as the second coming of insert comedian name who's not problematic. Most of them are problematic. But you know what I mean? Controversial opinion, very simple, okay? Streamers, if I talk about what I did yesterday, today, the same chatters are gonna be like, dude, we've already heard this. -2. I'm gonna leave. This stream's boring. It's been 1 day. I can't repeat a single topic. I see now why streamers talk about what they eat, because it's a very natural segue. But then there's a problem, okay? Imagine you're a streamer who eats the same thing every day. You can't talk about the same thing. If I ate spaghetti 5 days in a row and I say for the 5th day in a row I had spaghetti, the viewing numbers would drop even below what it currently is. And there's already no one here. I know who you had sex with. Okay, who? Nobody. Look, I'm just saying, okay? Like, you can't eat spaghetti every day. You can't have sex every day. You can't go outside every day. So, how do you get topics to talk about? Like, there's just not enough topics in the world to talk about. There's not enough time in the world to have some, like, how many times can you do anything in life to get something to talk about? Hello, Narf. Thank you for rating. How was your day? How was Witcher 3? Oops. Hey, everyone. Sorry, but you weren't supposed to hear that. Shout out. Narf. Okay, how many F's is in your name? 2 F's. You can't have sex every day? Sag. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Are you investigating again who is having sex with whom? We are! Okay, I've actually discovered a lot about the sex, okay? So, look at this diagram, okay? Welcome to the Roottrees. Thank you, Narf, for showing up. Please do follow Narf. Hopefully the Witcher 3 was fun. Look, this guy had sex 5 times, okay? 1, his mistress, Susie. 2, Christine Garland, probably through an abuse of power. So he's actually really bad. 3, his 3 business partners from Australia, from China, and from Brazil. Whew. That's what I'm talking about. I know what's up. And I already know who's having sex with who. But the topic was, how do you as a streamer continually entertain people with new topics every day? If you stream 8 hours a day and then you go outside for 8 hours, when do you have time for the rest of your life? Like, I have a wife. I have no kids, but I have a wife. And I want to spend time with her. But I can't just tell you, hey guys, like, I can't divulge our sex lives or like our romance life. Like, it's kind of weird, right? So it's like, What do I talk to you about? There's not that many topics that you can do. You're tired and you'll get some noodles. Please post the photos. I actually have a bunch of food photos that I'll post soon. But yeah, welcome everyone. We're playing a game called The Roottrees Are Dead. It's a mystery game where you try and it's a bit like deduction. I would say right now it's a bit like deduction, and a lot of it is about trying to figure out who's done what and how do you place these people. So we're currently on a rabbit trail, trying to figure out how many people Guy Hudson has slept with. Because now, the first part of the game was mapping out the family of the Roottrees. The current part that we're in is mapping out who had sex outside of the marriage. So there's a lot of sex happening. And I don't know whether China, Australia, or Brazil came first. So there's 3 businesses, okay? And I don't know who necessarily came first. Oh, I do. Brazil came first, because Brazil was in the summer. He had sex with Sonia. Sonia Suarez, where are you? Why all the photos? Here we go. He said sex with Sonia Suarez. Sonia Suarez, who is I think she's a television person. No, you're acting as if like you're sticky. Oh, but you do have to go get some food. No worries. Take your time. Hey, if you look, be sure to type !look. It's a very funny message. It's a very, very funny message. And everyone else too, you're free to leave. This is like boring time, okay? I don't blame you if you want to leave. This is all boring time. And this is really, this game is for me to talk to the chat and for you to look at me, get confused, and for you to side off me too. You're gonna look too, it's about time you went to sleep. Okay, type exclamation mark alert. You fuck. You misspelled it. The joke is ruined. You fuck. Anyways, thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. We just need to figure out who had sex with who. I need to figure out what her job was, first off. I'm pretty sure I have something about her job here in the 5 Roottrees. Not the 5 coituses. Who is having this much... Why did I write this? Who is having this much... I wrote this down. Who was having this much sex in the 1960s and 1990s when abstinence was all the rage and God smote you for even thinking of foreskin? A psyop by the hippies and the commies. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. This was like a to-do. You fuck! Typical sticky, always shouting at us for not watching at all times. No. So this is the thing. I think the best chatter is not the one that shows up every day, right? The best chatters are the ones that show up every other day, or like, you know, Monday, Thursday, Sunday, okay? The best chatters are like the Monday, Thursday, Sunday chatters, where you get like a 1 to 2 day break. Because, and again, back to this topic, if you're a streamer, how do you come up with new topics every day? My controversial take is that comedians have it easy because they go on stage once a week. They say 99% the same jokes. They say one new joke. The one guy in the audience who came back for the second show, so after seeing it last week, laughs at the one new joke. Everyone else laughs because the entire audience is new, and they laugh at the 99% the same jokes, okay? Me, I'm on every day. So that's why I need some of you to like take a break. I need some of you to come back Monday, Thursday, Sunday. Just self-organize, right? Self-organize. You're all adults here, presumably. If you're not, I'll just ban you. But presumably, self-organize. Some of you come Monday, some of you come Tuesday, some of you come Wednesday, okay? That way, I can spread a topic thin across all 3 days. If you watch the VODs, it's your fault. You have the option not to. You could wait for the highlights from a third-party channel of some fan cam, okay? I'm still waiting for my fan cam. I'm still waiting for it. How does one entice a viewer to become like a fan cam creator? You know? Like, how do I entice one of you to be like, okay, time for you to make my like fan cam edits? Like, I want my own librarian. You know what I mean? Oh, look, have this. Look, the librarian on YouTube probably makes close to 6 figures. Just from YouTube videos because of how many views they get. Okay, I can listen. It's 0 effort. You just need to keep in. You just need to cut the moments where I don't stop talking. You can look at the spectrogram and you see where the like peaks are. You use that and you say, okay, I'm gonna edit in only these pieces. Boom, nearly 6 figures. I feel like I'm on something here. The whole stream. So it's the whole stream, right, Chatter? Right, streamer. Okay, do I actually talk the whole stream? I've been wondering about this. Is there ever a moment where I shut up? Because I never actually listen to myself talk. I just sort of like keep on talking and the thoughts keep on coming, right? But then it sort of strikes me, it's like 6 hours can go and I won't really know how much I've said or what I've done. Like all I remember is this. All I remember is that we went from whatever the sausage was. Oh no, I remember now. Yeah, so we went for the sausage, and I said this is the sausage that's going to be at TwitchCon. And then I was learning about sausages from different places, and then everyone voted to see Orc Massage, but I couldn't do it yet. So we'll do Orc Massage next week. Yeah. Only when you go for a pee or eat. No, you don't. Why else would I watch you? Hey! What are you implying, huh? What are you implying, chat? Look at this riveting gameplay. Look at this riveting gameplay. There is nowhere else where you get gameplay that involves figuring out who had sex with who. This is the only time we're allowed to play a game about sex on Twitch without getting banned. You think they mean that you are not skilled gamer? Sad face emoji. I think I'm a skilled gamer. Yeah, you want to see some skill? Watch this. I'm gonna figure out who he had sex with, and I'm gonna figure out what his wife's job is. His wife, Sonia Suarez, is Flavio. No, Sonia is it's television station. What's a television station? Nova Corporal. Where's the? Listen, I'm gonna Telderade. Look, a Telderade, right? Look, she's a dictator. His wife is a dictator. He had sex with a dictator. Here we go. I got it. Create duty removal. How about I just search up his name? What's his name? Who's Ashley York? Partner. Oh, right. This is the partner of Flavio Suarez. You need to wet the flesh and get ready for bed, Mrs. Sticky. Okay, yes, true. Okay, also, for all of you, everyone listening, when you go take a shower, say you're going to wet the flesh. It's a very good phrase, and thank you, Chatter, for showing us it. Again, you're allowed to leave. You're allowed to leave. This is a slow burn time for basically me. And if you want to show up, then you just get to have fun. If you don't want to, then you don't have to. But I did, okay, I will say Narf has one of the better, if not the best, intro for a raid because of the... I like the light stick emote. It's very fun. You're welcome. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you. You beat me every time in Deadlock, so I have no right of voice in deciding that. Think about this. You say I'm not a god gamer, right? I go 30 kills on Yamato in Deadlock, and all I do is farm. I'm a god! I'll show you. You know what? I know how to keep people on the stream, actually. I know how to keep all of you watching the stream. Watch. I have the best way of keeping you all on stream. I do this. And I just need the exact image that I'm thinking of. I need this one image. I just need this one image. We do a green screen. We do this. There we go. We'll do this. I think we'll just hover it like this. This is how you keep viewers around, okay? This is how you convince viewers that your stream is worth something, right? Put it right there. There we go. Perfect. To me, anyone that hasn't beaten getting over it is not a real gamer. Alright, well, that's bait. That's bait to try to get me to play getting over it, but I don't want to play it because every time I look at that game and I think of myself wanting to stream it live, I think to myself, I'd rather eat shit than play that game. I'd rather have a stream where I dig a real hole in my backyard compared to that. Also, from now on, every stream will have no swearing. My goal is to have 0 swearing. And I can actually figure out a way to make it so it automatically tracks. But I want to have a stream where I do no swearing. This is now a Christian stream. Deadlock is not a real game. Now Minesweeper is a real game. I'm one of the only people who have played whatchamacallit, or who have beaten the expert level 999 Minesweeper map, okay? I'm one of the only people. In this chat, at least. On the other hand, you watch my Infernus gameplay, that build was so ass. Listen, you have a guy whose entire character motif is he shoots from his hands. He shoots bullets from his hands, and you're telling me you don't build bullets? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, why even bother giving him the ability to shoot? Just make him do like a Fortnite dance the entire game and have people take AoE damage just standing around him. It doesn't make any sense. Don't blame me, blame the game design, okay? Jesus. What does your wife do for a living? What does your wife do for a living, huh? Second, many locals were forcibly his wife Sonia was put in charge of a television station. What's her job then? I don't really know what her job is. What's a television job? What do you do in a television job? What do you do as a television person? Public speaker? No. Police officer? News anchor? Media mogul? And then this ends up being... I'm pretty sure that Flavio Suarez is his child. So if I do Flavio Suarez... And I'm pretty sure... that no duck. I'm pretty sure Flavio Suarez is a supermodel. People are obsessed like Twitch chatters. Dating a supermodel. Parentheses, holy shit. Brazilian newscaster. Okay, so he's a Brazilian newscaster. Yep. If you remember correctly, I bought a shit item, then sold it, and then you're pretty sure that I bought it again. Look, I'm just saying, okay? Listen, it was in the heat of the moment, alright? That is a live PvP game. That is a live PvP game. I'm fighting for my life, chat. In the moment, trying to survive in this cold, hard world, right? If he has bad memory, he forgot that he bought it. I don't think this is Guy Hudson anymore. Well, like I know it's Guy Hudson, but I don't know why it's not triggering. Like nothing is popping. Nothing is popping out. Nothing is being like, oh, you found some names. I don't know what to do. You know what? We read the book from Sam Madsen. It's how we found James and Robert Garland, who from the two children of his secretary, who presumably he had sex with. Well, coerced into sex and probably is worse than that. So maybe we read Lauren's book. So Lauren Roottrees wrote her diary, and that was the original reason how we found most of this stuff. So you think you might still have beaten your ass though? Yeah, it's pure skill. It's actually pure skill. It's this is the thing, right? You know the Dunning-Kruger effect? Here, you ever hear about the Dunning-Kruger effect? I'll read the definition for you, okay? The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias in which people with limited competence in a particular domain overestimate their abilities, and then you have like a graph that has like a first there's like a hump on this side, and then it goes down and it's like a dip, and then it kind of humps back forward, okay? You're on the first hump. You're on the first hump where you overestimate how good you are because you've never seen better. And then the moment that you saw me, you realized, damn, he really is just that good. And yet, but you're still in denial that like I'm better than you because you just happen to sort of like block that. Like you are in denial, you are so egotistical that you believe that I'm not better than you, that you just happen to be temporarily embarrassed. You think I can just aim and you can't. Okay, that is true. All right, here. That is true. To be fair, I did win $50 once. $50 once from a Faceit thing. Like a Faceit CSGO thing, so. I'm a pretty good shooter, you know what I mean? I got shooters left and right. Haha, shooters. Get it? Shooters left and right. An entry entitled Cruelty from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1963. It focuses on the relationship between her mother and father. While it offered only redundant information during your previous investigation, it mentions the subject of affairs and may be more useful this time around. Wait, what? Lauren Roottrees, A Life Between Wars. So this is the book from the first portion of the game. When revisiting Lauren's book, there's a single passage that focuses on potential affairs in her immediate family. Oh. I am no stranger to true love. Jacob and I married at an age that most deem unfit for marriage. But he was also enlisting at an age that most deem unfit for war. Oh, that is a beautiful line. Wow. That's a beautiful line. People who enlist at an age that most deem unfit for war. We had no choice. I knew in my heart that our marriage was one for the ages. Whenever people say that, I always think to myself, like, how egotistical do you have to be that your marriage in particular matters, right? Like, buddy, I'm married too, okay? I am under no illusion that my marriage with my wife is like the second coming of Jesus, yeah? The only people who know about it and who ever cared about it was the guy who signed the document in court, who had to care about it for 5 minutes, smiled for the photo, and then said, okay, bye. They only care in so much as I'm actually marrying my wife because I love her, and that's it, right? Anyways, he and I would still be together today if not for Okinawa. That was nearly 20 years ago, but there was an emptiness in my soul. I did not understand my contemporaries. Contemporaries being people around her. So like, would you call me your contemporary, chat? If you do, banish the illusions. Abandon such thoughts. That's folly. You are beneath me, and I am above you. For we are not contemporaries. But would I think of my friends as my contemporaries? Sure. Would I think of my coworkers as my contemporaries? Sadly. Would I think of you, chatters, as my contemporaries? No. So there's a limit. Define contemporaries. Give me an English lesson, daddy. Okay, contemporaries. Okay, let me Google the meaning really quick. Okay, let me teach you this word, but let me Google it really quick. So, a person or a living thing existing at the same time as another. But the thing is, right, I think contemporary is more of a mental state and like more of like a power move, right? Because like, you see some people as beneath you. Like, I look at my dog and I go, you're beneath me. You know what I mean? She's not my contemporary. She's my responsibility, right? People, I think, can lay into 3 different categories, right? Your roadblocks, your responsibilities, and your contemporaries, okay? The roadblock is your coworker who does not like to work as well as you do and makes so many mistakes that you get to fix it. A bit like my coworker who I told you about, who wanted to push someone off of like a balcony, so a bit like him. Your responsibilities are like your kids and your dogs and like stuff like that. And your contemporaries are people who are on equal footing with you, who, if given the same amount of money, would blow it the same way. You know what I mean? Deep. So like bottom or top? Yeah, it's very similar to bottom or top. It's actually, life can be described as a series of relationships all devolving into whether you're a bottom or a top. Because all of humanity exists in one giant sandwich. Like if I... Here, look. Let me demonstrate. Look. Okay, ignore that. Okay, so here. Life is like a sandwich, okay? All of humanity exists within these layers. All right? Down here and up here, there's no difference. This is me and this is you all the way through. Every single person is connected into one giant sandwich. And there's a through line from everybody to everybody else at all times. Right? Because unfortunately, human society is about making sandwiches. And it all started with the Earl sandwich, yeah? When he invented the food, he realized that this could extend to people too. And that's why he was an Earl and not anybody else in particular, okay? That's when things went downhill. Missy thinks the same of me. Are those guys bottoms or tops? You may not believe it. This photo has 3 bottoms and only 1 top. You may not believe it, but this photo only has 1 top and there are 3 bottoms. It's surprising. I know. It always blows people's minds. They use Mac OS, so they're all bottoms. Okay, well, you're wrong. This guy's using like a Dell laptop. See, I told you. 3 Mac OS bottoms, 1 Linux top. The truth has been revealed. 3 Mac OS bottoms, 1 Linux top. Okay, so anyways, contemporaries are like that. Like people who she knows and people in her own like time and era, right? People who she deems as sort of like equals, okay? I don't know, it depends on the distro. No, you're not gonna sign up me this time. And what's good actually is that I know nothing about distros. All I know is Ubuntu. If you told, like, honestly, Linux to me should have one single distro, like like Windows. So many girls I went to school with have taken multiple lovers. What? So many of my girlfriend's husbands have been unfaithful. If I am able to remain true to the ghost of a man with no chance of physical reciprocation, no potential for long conversation, how can it be so hard to love someone you can reach out and touch? Someone you can joke with? Well, you know, she has a good point. But at the same time, people's needs are different. But yeah, there's no excuse for like cheating. Well, sometimes. What's a top distro? Asahi Linux. Because, okay, Asahi Linux is the ultimate top distro. Because macOS is a bottom. Like, MacBooks, Mac machines are bottom machines, alright? But Asahi Linux builds Linux on top of that. It's literally the top to the bottom Linux. It's literally the top Linux to the bottom Mac. It's the ultimate top distro. Well, technically, Windows has multiple distros. You're kind of blowing my mind here, but you are correct, and you're not actually wrong. Because, yeah, from Windows XP to Windows 10, they are different. And I hate that you said that to me, because now I can't really think of that. Like, I can't think that... I can't help but think that now. You guess there's a grain of truth in it. Don't deny the truth! As much as you deny it, the truth is out there. It's waiting for you. All you need to do is open your heart and open your mind and let it into your life. The truth, right? Because there is no need to believe. Have I seen the drama between Linus and the Asahi Linux dev? No. What do you mean drama? What? What do you mean drama? Aren't they busy like reviewing code all the time? How do they have drama? Linus, Asahi Linux, drama. Asahi Linux had quits. What? 3 days ago, I fought the Torvald and Torvald won. Hector Martin resigned from the effort early Friday, Japan Standard Time, citing developer burnout, demanding users, and Linus's Torvald's handling of the integration of Rust code to the open source kernel. Oh, no. This is not a Linus thing. This is a Rust thing. See, again, it's all about Rust. It all starts and ends with Rust. The project ran into opposition from the core kernel maintainer who did not want to deal with a Rust driver abstraction. That's impressive. Torvalds rebuked Martin and defended the Linux governance process. It's all about Rust. Well, I mean, I guess there goes all the possibility of having like an Asahi Linux machine. But to be fair, again, like open source is hard, and then you have to deal with all that stuff. Like, do you really want to deal with people's demands all the time? And do you really want to deal with Apple's demands, especially with the MacBook? And then do you want to deal with the core Linux team? I don't think so. This is the one thing, is that the governance process is there for a reason, but at the same time, like, imagine how infuriating it must be to like do all of it and then have to deal with all that stuff. On top of the fact that everyone's breathing down your neck and no one really understands who to blame, because everyone again is like at the first hump of the Dunning-Kruger. The best place to be on the Dunning-Kruger plains is the final hump. It's like after the final hump, you're in the final pit. Okay, the first pit is the pit of despair where you lose all confidence. Okay, so initially you don't know anything, so it's all exciting. You go up into the first hill. You know very little, but you're very confident. And you're very happy. The first pit is pure depression because you don't know what you're actually worth anymore, because you realize how stupid you are. It's only after that, near the end, when you start to feel happier and you're more, at least able to estimate how good you are in relation to everything else. Oh, he'll still continue developing. He just resigned from the kernel maintenance list. I don't blame him. Do you really want to work on the kernel maintenance list? I have not had to sorry, I don't know how do you go back to reading this normal thing? Like, imagine if you're in class and you're in my group and we have to do a book report on like a Dostoevsky book or like the Magic Green Beans book by Dr. Seuss, right? And we start to read, and I read one passage, and then I go on this like diatribe and this like rant about, you know, Linux and like why MacBooks are like bottoms. And I come back to the book 30 minutes later and I read the next line, and it's like, Jerry ate all the beans and he farted. It's like, what do you do? Like, it's like the context is lost. The feeling is lost. Everyone get into the mindset, okay? POV, your husband died. He's gone. And you've resisted the urge to find penis for the last like 30 years, and you bemoan the fact that everyone around you is getting dick but you aren't. Think of this. Keep that in mind as you read this. I have not had to deal with such madness at home. My parents are a perfect match in the worst way. My mother's cruelty is a perfect fit for my father's general spite. In turn, Pop's status enables her incessant need to gloat and feel superior. I have grown up with their cruelty and disdain for others my entire life. Even my family remains unspared. They make fun of my grandpop and his family sayings. Blood is thicker than syrup, but nothing's thicker than Elias. They mimic Grandma Gwyneth's lisp and see her kindness as a weakness. Elias, please remember them. Not even our family's maladies and religion go unmocked. Remember, God only put one eye in miracle. I can say, without a doubt in my mind, that my parents have never had eyes for anyone outside their marriage. They're too self-centered to look astray. But in a way, maybe she was pointing directly towards the people who did cheat, right? Because think about it. Why would they mock these people if they didn't have anything to mock? So, you know, the idea of Elias and Gwyneth and Sam Madsen sort of guessing that they had an affair there. Then you also have the Miracles, which I'm assuming they have affairs, right? We have a couple of things that we can do here. We know for sure Clark did have an affair. He was originally with LaRue Jane, but it's kind of hard to figure out when that timeline was. XP, 10, 11, home, professional server. What is all of this Windows madness? Also for different architectures. Well, the architecture thing makes sense. But yeah, the different versions of Windows, I don't get it either. But that's how they, I don't know, that's how they make money, I guess. Question is, why wouldn't your Windows laptop connect when the Linux would? Because, that's actually a good question. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe firewall stuff? Maybe you didn't enable firewall. Or like, let the application through the firewall. Also, I'm thinking about this. Clark is actually number 1. Clark is probably here. Or here. I guarantee you Clark is probably somewhere here. Which would make more sense compared to what he was before. And technically his son Rafferty is a part of it too, so maybe we can sort of go backwards from here. We have a book from Lauren Roottrees. I wonder what other books she has actually. Maybe the other books are even more important. Life Between Wars. Romance in the Courts. Here we go. Let's try this. I'm assuming I can sort of go backwards from these people. Nope, this page has not been updated in at least 8 months. Okay. We do Jane LaRue. Because I think Clark is going to be a very interesting character to look at. Because he is one of the CEOs, and then he also cheated on his partners twice, so technically one of his children probably should be there as well, right? Technically. New president of the Roottrees Corporation. I think I read all this actually. Yes, I think I did read this, yeah. So most information, yep, his mother was, yep, Lauren, yeah. So I definitely read all of this. Clans said trust would no longer be handled by anyone. Actually, maybe I can get Ruby Spratt in on this too. We have some information about her, but not enough to really go with any leads. How do we go from... We also need to figure out Susie something. Like he has a Mistress Susie that was propositioning the writer of this article, which is Cecily Sanchez. Cecily Sanchez. How do I get Guy Hudson's mistress? Guy Hudson. Fancy Flavors debacle. Let's do Fancy Flavors. No, we know about the Fancy Flavors. We just need to figure out how to get from Guy everywhere else. Oh, I know. Guy Hudson. Okay, it's old. God damn it. So, maybe there's no way to get from Guy everywhere else, because we need to find out who Guy's mistress was. Hey, Athol and Red. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for showing up. How was your day? I hope that you had a good a good day. Sorry, you're currently in the slow ending point, so I'm kind of tired, but also, you're also in the point where I just look at and I read information about who had sex with who. So, you're not missing much. You're allowed to leave if you want to. But again, thanks for showing up. Everyone, please do follow Athol and Red as well. And I hope that your day was going well. Were you all doing Minecraft today? Was today the Minecraft day? They've been playing some Minecraft recently, which is it's every time I see Minecraft, I get this urge that I want to play, but I try to hold off on it because I don't want to. Every time I play Minecraft, it's like an addiction for a whole month, and I try not to get too into it. But I'm glad to see you both. Hopefully things are good. Now, how do I get to this person having sex with people? How do I get him to talk about his mistress? Maybe I could talk about the police. Here we go. The Butler County Police are advertised quite often in the Butler County Times. The advertisement lists them as one of Butler County's top 3 cover bands. What? Oh, oops. The quote is attributed to the Butler County Times as well, so it appears that they're locally approved. This is the wrong police. Okay, so that's... you can book the Butler County Police to play at any gig, such as bar and bar mitzvahs, weddings and school dances. Apparently for an extra fee, they also play music from Sting's solo career. There's also a ton of mentions of the Butler County's actual police force in the newspaper, because the Butler County Times archives go back over 100 years. Searching for police matters in the newspaper won't return much of anything relevant. How do I get the police? Oh, Red was playing the Bazaar. You were playing the Bazaar. It's really good. I've been waiting for that game for a very long time, because it feels like it will scratch the itch, because there's 2 itches, right? One is the auto battler itch, of which I think Tales and Tactics has sort of taken that in my light. Like, I have 200 something hours in Tales and Tactics, right? But then it's also the fact that you have this sort of like mix and match of equipment similar to like cards and different effects that feels interesting too. And so it's like you have that combined with the random PvP. It looks like a very addictive experience, but I'm afraid to get into it because playing teamfight tactics, I don't sleep very often. So I'm trying to stay away from everything so as to ensure that I have a good sleep schedule. Also, I'm thinking about this here. He has a mistress. It's a good auto battler coming from Backpack Battles. That game is amazing. I actually love the game. And Super Auto Pets. Yep. Oh, you will lose all your time into the Bazaar. That's what I'm afraid of. Yeah, because especially if it hits that same feeling of Backpack Battles, the way that you mix and match different effects. Because Backpack Battles was extremely addictive. The demo alone, I think I got 70 hours out of the demo alone. That's how addictive it was. The full game, I played one thing, I refunded it, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I stopped myself because I was like, I'm gonna be stuck playing this game for like several years. I'm realizing I don't think Susie matters. I don't think his mistress Susie matters. Or Garland. I don't think Christine Garland matters. I think it's specifically Lang Xin Yu. Here, I think, well, I don't know. But what I'm thinking is that Susie doesn't matter because Lang Xin Yu and maybe the sister, because she did get into artificial insemination to make Lucy Min. And actually, I'm just realizing something. She has like brownish hair. Does Flavio Suarez has brownish hair? He kind of does too. Everyone kind of looks the same. Maybe I've got the wrong people. How about this? We leave the Guy Hudson angle for later. We come back to Guy Hudson later, and we just look up Elias Roottrees. Gwyneth Roottrees. Sam Madsen. Samantha Roottrees. Sam Madsen. We got the book already, so I don't think it really matters. It feels like the style of Hearthstone, with the building of Backpack Battles and the effect and order importance of Super Autobots. It's absorbed them all. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to stay away from the game then, because that feels like my type of game. Because the style of Hearthstone, very nice. The building aspect of Backpack Battles was the best part of that game. And then the effect and order importance of Super Autopets was what I really enjoyed about it too. Where it's simple, but also very, very fun to stack things up. I'm very worried about it because I see other streamers play it and I think to myself, maybe like it at least reinforces that I should wait for the public release because I don't think it'd be good for me to get into it now. I would be a little addicted to it. But it really does feel like the kind of game that I would be really into. Did I even get the 6 Pieces book? I don't know if I did. Coincide with Guy Hudson. Okay, Sam Madsen does not like Guy. Guy often spent a lavish amount of money on private parties. One of his farm supervisors was Elizabeth. Could Susie be a nickname of Elizabeth? I don't think so. Antonellis, we know about her, and we know about the... Yeah, because here, look. Christine Garland showed up with a guy and didn't seem comfortable switching partners. Elizabeth wasn't aware that the party was for swingers. Yeah. Her daughter showed up with Guy because she was the secretary. Went to different markets on unofficial business. He bribed a politician in Brazil. Elias and Gwyneth, who's Beth. Beth? Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth, but she never met her. Oh, we can search up Anderson Farm. Anderson Farm. A Roottrees farm. Roottrees candy farm. Roottrees maple farm. What's it called? What's her name again? What's her name? Gwyneth Anderson. Oh, Anderson Farm. The first Anderson maple farm. This. Here we go. I might be able to get information about an Elizabeth. The farm is shut down almost indefinitely. The quote from Bess Williams' book appears to be gotten. Bess Williams, who had written this, Family Man by Bess Williams, tells you nothing about Elias. It's only 85 pages long. Tells you about extended family. If they were to place a definition with the picture, it would be a picture of this book. I don't know where to go from here. Maybe there must be something within the Butler County Times about it. Assistant ads for tours, Mrs. Catchroll. Chef's signature. I think we got the ones about the 2 people there. The header rolled. Yeah, I'm stumped. What's a good... Maybe there's another entryway in. That's a very funny photo. High profile, infidelity. Oh yeah, 9. Oh yeah! There's people! I forgot, we have people! We have names. We have actual names of people. Like 5 Ps. Anonymom. Oh, we should check out Anonymom. I've never actually bothered to do this. I really should have done this. Anonymom. This is the one with 8 kids, right? I know. Anonymom was a second high-profile case after Felix Fellows of a potential new Roottrees being added to the Clansett Trust. Instead of claiming herself a Roottrees, however, she claimed she slept with Guy Hudson and that her daughter was a Roottrees. The accusation came during the height of Roottreemania and began with a brief TV interview. She appeared in the shadows with a disguised voice and promoted an article about herself in News Time. Here we go. Okay, so this is Anonymom. Presumably slept, or Guy Hudson slept with her. Who is she? When you learn what her name is. Whoa! When you learn that you can type anything into a search engine and then get information out infinitely across all of humanity's existence. Whoa! Case after a Felix Fellows. I think this one is specifically 5 Ps. Presumably 5 Ps real name, but I haven't searched him yet. Claims she slept with Guy Hudson, which is possible given his swinger parties. So possible. And she does have a daughter. So she has a daughter specifically. Has a daughter. That's probably important because this feels a lot like but we only know one person with a daughter. Let's see. Oh wait, has an article in periodical. Has an article in periodical. News time. In the TV interview and the article, she referred to her daughter as Jane Doe Roottrees. The name Anonymom was not self-inflicted. It seemed to spring up organically because nobody knew how else to refer to her. That's fair. The day after the News Time article, Sam Madsen publicly supported Anonymom due to some parts of the story she found particularly credible. With the momentum from Sam's endorsement, Anonymom went on a media blitz. Ultimately, this backfired. As more details came out, people became skeptical of her story due to the extreme similarity to 5P's. Her accusation even included many of the same details as his mother's story. This included her job and the time period. Oh shit. Chat? 5P's is Christine Garland's son. But her third son. Oh my god. Here. This included her job, secretary in the time period, the late 70s. We know who was his secretary at the time, was Christine Garland. She went with him with Guy Hudson to swinger parties, but she was not comfortable changing her partners. However, she also wasn't there with her husband, and specifically, she had 2 kids and she had to come back to the job every now and then because of a need for money, which is in a way exploitative and like a power imbalance. This is probably the nail in the coffin that links Christine Garland to 5P's and therefore links them together to Guy Hudson. So actually, this is Christine Garland. No, but they're still married though. I don't think they're split up. The problem is that then what do you do? Because she has 2 other sons, but does she have 5P's too? I'm not really sure. We'll think about this, but at least we know 5P's mom was secretary to Guy in 1970s, which fits with Christine Garland's timeline. Right? So we do this? Yeah, this is great. Let's include the job and the time period. Okay. Boom. See, I'm a good gamer, chat. You don't just come here for things like talking to me and hearing me talk. No, you come here to listen to me and look at me beat the game. After fumbling the 5P story so publicly, the Roottrees were more prepared to handle all Clansett Trust-related cases. Within a week, a DNA test proved that Anonymom's daughter could not be related to the Roottrees. This was announced at a joint press conference with lawyers representing both Anonymom and the Roottrees. Each party ensured their respective clients provided accurate samples. Immediately after the negative results were released, many of those who had already been skeptical felt vindicated. Others, who had built up hope that history could repeat itself after 5P's, felt duped. Many people suspected the whole affair had been a hoax to gain fame and money. Many demanded that Anonymom be held accountable, and some people even began to track down her true identity. Gamer rage. We searched up the Rootree Rift, which we know about. I think we did. Somewhere in Mi Familia. Indecisionitis, yeah, this thing too, the Rootree Rift. We should go back to that later, but we now have a better lead, I think, going from the 5P's into the Anonymom angle, okay? So, now we do 5P's. Which is, but also, who is Felix Fellows? That's his name, okay, so that's for sure his name, okay. Oh yeah. Do I already have a 5P section? I don't think I do. Why did he name his name? Well, he named himself 5P's, like the 5 pieces, right? That's pretty good. It was 5P's mom was secretary to Guy. Exclude the job. Here we go. Good. Okay, done reordering 5P's. So Felix Fellows is a rapper who has found some recent radio play after being publicly confirmed as a long-lost Rootree and entitled to part of their fortune, the Clansett Trust. His alias, 5P's, is a play on 5 pieces. An article you find on the website known for their particularly harsh reviews of modern music gives his most recent album, Root of All Evil, 1 star out of 7 for whatever reason. Yeah, why the... I feel a rant coming. I feel a pet peeve rant coming. Okay? You ever go to like a recipe site and they rate their recipes from like from 0 to 4 stars? Why? Like, what's the point of cutting it into 25% when you could do 5? And what's the point of 7s and like 8s? Like, you can't even divide that well and easily. It ends up being a fraction. So, why wouldn't you just do like either 10 or 5? You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like 5 is the standard system. And I would even say 5 is a lot. Like, I would do NPS surveys. And I would just do, you know, like 3 scores. Like, I liked it, I'm neutral, and I didn't like it. Because, okay, this is another pet peeve of mine. Why? What is the point of an NPS survey that doesn't count anything above a 7 or an 8 as good? It seems silly to me. You should just have 2 options. I liked it or I didn't like it. And most people are going to go, I didn't like it. Or like I'm neutral on it. I didn't like it. I'm neutral. It was okay, and I loved it. That's all you need. What's the point of the score if it doesn't matter? Sorry. 1 star out of 7 with the headline "More poser than my action figure collection." The article mentions his real name is David, and he used to go by Dirty Davy, and the author rues the fact that this rebranding was a blatant marketing stunt at the expense of his mother's tragic past. She overdosed when he was 16. What? Oh my god. Her accusation even included many of the same details as his mother's story. This included his job and time period. 5 pieces, mom was a secretary to Guy, and it does fit with Christine Garland role, but the timeline fits in with his mistress. I don't know, actually. Wait, when did he have a mistress? When was she propositioned? 1970s. Susie something. Mid-1981, months after I had already moved on, he called me back and showed me a final draft. Do you know how expensive it is? Okay. He sent his mistress, Susie something, into the bathroom to proposition me. I remembered her from my trip overseas. She was too good for him. 1981, late 70s to 1981. There's a good chance that it's actually Susie, given that he used her to try to proposition Cecily Sanchez when they had first met in 1981, presuming that she didn't die immediately, and at late 70s, 1970s. People don't say I'm in my late 20s unless you're like 28 or 29, right? Because people hold out hope. I would even say people don't say that you're there. I would say people say that they're still young, and like even when they're 28, and it's only when the 9 hits that they go, well, it's over for me, right? So presumably, his mother is Susie, because the timeline fits, secretary, and also mistress, which means that they were all able to sort of work that way. And because he was 16 when she overdosed, that was much later in his life. So she was still alive by this point. Whereas Christine Garland, I think Christine Garland specifically, had... Where's Christine Garland? Christine Garland, I think, was later on. So if I go Christine Garland... Okay, well, Okay! Tristan. Robert. No. Where is Christine Garland? But I think Christine Garland was probably a lot later, comparatively. Because I don't think the timeline really fits. Unless he had a mistress and a secretary. But the 2 brothers, James and Robert, do mention that their mother's still alive. So I don't think it's that the mother is dead. I genuinely don't think she's dead. I think she's still alive. Here we go. James and Robert Garland. Left them, dad, aunt, spent to school. We spent the days with our aunt. What? She had to go back to work as a secretary even after Robert was born. 1998 issue. Million Year Picnic is a book by thing. If you decide to visit Bears Things, no, Bears Things. My Boss's homepage. Fry Die, McCarran, Zero, Jimmy, and something. First met Steve in 1978 when his wife was still alive. So Steve Garland, Christine Garland when she's still alive. Wait. He went back to work. She went back to work as a secretary to make money. But when they released the book, it was popular. So did they need the money at this point? I don't really know. Hard to tell. Like, they probably didn't need the money anymore at this point, given that they already made enough. Considering what happened afterwards, right? Because 1991, local authors sued. Oh, but 1991 is when he sued. Okay, so yeah, back in 1981, Christine and Steve were broke because they only sued Mark Zimmer later because of the stealing the recipe thing. And so they only got rich later. So she was still a secretary within 1970s. Wait, so Christine Garland as a red panda. Anything under 6 is young and over 10 is old. True. For my dog, like I just forget that she's in dog years. So when she gets closer to 2 years, I start to think, oh, you're like 20 now, my poor child. You ever thought about what the relationship between children would be in a situation where man A and woman B have a child, then man C and woman D have a child, then they swing, man and A and woman D have a child, then man C and woman B have a child? Yes. It's not even like half siblings anymore. It's just like siblings, but it's like fucked up siblings. Everyone's all like messed up. You're like, that's the thing, right? It's like, how do you differentiate? Like, it is confusing on some level, but at the same time, I guess it doesn't really matter to her child. Yeah, actually, you know what's funny? If you draw it out and you map it out in your mind, it looks like a pentagram. Their family tree. So okay, Christine Garland. I need to find. Is there nothing about Christine Garland? Christine Garland. Christine Garland. Antonella's Christine Garland. She and her husband met years ago when her mother was delivering produce on the farm, because her mother was the person Elizabeth at the farm, right? Did I never write? I didn't write a single thing about Christine Garland. More of a mutually thing. Christine Garland, the farm supervisor Elizabeth, and she was guy husband's secretary, right? And then they eloped at the end of last year. So they eloped at the end of 1977. So they were together by this point. So they were together by this point. They had eloped in 1977, which means they had left. Which means she was no longer the secretary, and she was delivering food by that point. Now she's a secretary, but went back to delivering produce. Or maybe she was always a secretary. And then tried to move up to Boston to make money. So is 5P's mother really Christine Garland? But she's not dead, is she? I don't think she's dead. How do I know if she's dead? Is there like an obituary? Obituary. Butler County Cemetery. Obituary. 2 of them are siblings, or not siblings, and another 2 are not siblings at all, and then all the others are half siblings. Yeah, that's a lot of confusion. I would be confused trying to figure out who belongs with who. And it's also kind of like interesting because then, like, actually, you know what? It would be kind of cool to get like 4 presents every Christmas. Like you have 4 parents, and so 4 of them give you presents. That would be kind of neat. Maybe she is dead. I'm trying to think of like maybe she is dead. I need to find exactly where I wrote down about the 2 people. Specifically James. Avoid Pennsylvania. Okay, so James and Robert Garland. Do they talk about their mother dying? It featured James and Robert Garland, fried die. Most of the offerings are Thai with a samosa cone. Samosa cone does not sound tasty. It actually sounds like a travesty. A samosa is already the perfect shape and filling size. Instead, it contains fried potatoes, pureed peas. Robert, who's 3 years younger, likes to joke that the difference is left undelegated. James, with his love to his upbringing. Most kids. My father was a chef and my mother grew up on the farm in South America. You don't remember his farm? My dad's a great storyteller. He even wrote a book. When we moved, they looked to open a restaurant together. Then we got off the ground. His line cook gig ended up being less temporary. She had to go back to work at secretary. Then Rob was born. Before we go, don't forget to go spend the days on. My dad had no room for experimenting. He exercised there. Mom always had the best eye for vegetables. His mother is still alive. So, Christine Garland is still alive. Knowing this, 5Ps, which actually should be its own notes somewhere. Page 7. Page 7. Page 7. Page 7. Page 7. Page 7. 5P's mother is Susie. Not Christine. Because Christine, even though she was a secretary around this time period, is not dead at 16. So Guy had 2 secretaries, and this is probably his mistress Susie who was with them, which makes sense. But then how did she die? We're getting closer and closer, but we need to go back to 5Bs. Not siblings A, B, C, D, A, D, B, C. You know what you've done? You've just written out like the binary thing, like the Boolean logic table. You've just written out a Boolean logic table, and actually they teach you this in school. Specifically, it's like the thing for biology, where you determine who has what genes or something. Like you put like gene A, gene B, and then you do your genealogy, and you do your genetic squares. Like you've basically done that. Only one of the songs on the album is new, and the others were simply rewritten to turn blatant references to sex, drugs, and violence into clumsy euphemisms. His rise to prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of Newstime holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. At first, the Roottrees company denied it vehemently. Miracle Roottrees even appeared on the same magazine a week later. But since then, they've backtracked and publicly welcomed him to the family. Their press release at the time said that they had new evidence that confirmed his story. Here we go. It's all about Newstime, and specifically about his name, Dirty Davy. So let's first off, we'll do Root of All Evil. Big Brain Plays. It is pretty big brain, yeah. But again, what was that thing that we used to do in a biology class, where you do like A, B, and then you see the squares, and it's like this square means they have green hair, this square means that they died. You know what I mean? Root of All Evil is 5P's debut album. According to various sources, the album is mostly material that 5P's recorded for his big things before he became notable, but re-recorded with lyrical differences and professional production. All Your Problems was the first and only single released. This track is the only new song on the album. The subject matter of the song is the hypocrisy of those that claim money is evil. He points out that the only people who think money is evil are those that have it. Those that can afford not to be greedy. Kinda true, yeah. In the song, 5P triumphantly talks about taking the Roottrees' wealth due to it being his birthright and giving it to those who need it the most. You find a copy of the song on a suspicious-looking website and download it for your records. I downloaded this song and now I have a virus. God damn it. Oh well, I'll just keep it. It's kinda hot. It's the only single from 5P's album, Root of All Evil. It received some airplay but didn't make a big splash critically or commercially. Still, it's kinda catchy.
Attention, Roottrees. This is 5P coming at you from the real world. You know, the place you ain't ever lived in.
You say money is the root of all your problems.
By the way, I can't pause this as soon as it starts. There's actually no way to pause this.
Hypocrites sitting back in your massive estates, built from the cash that your ancestors gave you, acting like you somehow deserve it based on your family's creations. Yo. But look at here, sonny, don't you come for our money or you might burn.
You know what this sounds like? You know what this sounds like? This sounds like somebody's attempt at making like a joke hip-hop song.
From a geezer who's never known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners cause we didn't earn it. When all of your worth it came free with your name, you expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from he without blame. How about instead I turn my other cheeks and spread them? When you give me a kiss, you'll know just where to aim.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. So once more with passion, tell this poor tragic orphan how your mansions and Porsches are actually horrible.
How I'm better off penniless, grasping for morsels. How wanted my share,
that's actually extortion. With your candy ass name, synonymous with sweets. Oh, you wanna call me classless? I'm gangster from Portland, but I play that game. I came up on the streets, the only streets you reppin' are part dark place and bored. Your hypocrisy, monopoly is toppling. When I knock, have G's.
Top off my pockets, please.
Cause the same God that got to steal my mom from me is what he wants, right? For you to live in poverty. And if you're suddenly not eager to unhand that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to take my portion. And I'll do it all legally. Class action, courtroom, decorum. I'm way past your fancy ass dormant.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Bring the choir in.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Yeah.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle.
Yeah, that was like a 2 out of 10. That was a 2 out of 10 song. But it was very sort of emotional, given that he's speaking about his own life in the context of the game. Maybe the song is like a 1 out of 10. However, there was one interesting bit here with this song. It does at least verify that his mother is dead. The song does verify that his mother is dead and that he's from Portland, which says a lot. What happens to the tree if all the siblings and non-siblings sleep with each other too is the real question. You get a Gordian knot. You get the series of Gordian knots at the bottom of the... Like, for that one line, it's just a bunch of Gordian knots. And depending on if they continue that same trend, it might either straighten out into a normal tree or a knot. I don't know why I listened to that song. That was a very long song. After dropping the single, 5Ps announced he'd retained the infamous celebrity lawyer Stevie Whitlock to sue his family. To date, it doesn't seem like he's followed through. Why? At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars an hour to call and request a video on MTV, which increased his profile. MTV eventually caught on and banned the video altogether, which in turn received national news coverage and made the song even more popular. All Your Problems by 5Ps. Well, we have some more names to go with. Stevie Whitlock. The song itself is whatever, but the key is that we have all this history that we can go down now, which is nice. I'm thinking if we can get from Stevie, I'm curious why she didn't want to go all the way with suing, right? It seems weird. Stevie is a lawyer with a history of publicity stunts and grandstanding. Still, she's managed to rack up quite a few legal victories for C-list celebrities and athletes. She became famous in the mid-1980s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch subs were actually an average of 11.5 inches long. Subway. Stevie argued that since the company sold 1 billion sandwiches per year, that was enough missing sandwich to make a sub long enough to span from New York to Los Angeles. The jury awarded her a paltry $5,000, but the news coverage of her crusade turned out to be priceless. None of this seems to be related to the Roottrees. What? I was really hoping for a Roottrees Subway angle, but then that would be even worse, I would say, given Jared's things. Now, so Root of All Evil is interesting. The key is the Dirty Davy. This is probably going to tell us more about who his mother is. According to fan sites, Felix Fellows is not 5P's actual name. His birth name was David Fellows. So if I do... Real name was David Fellows. Old artist name was Dirty Davy. You know what? Your tree thing reminds me a lot of how people have aliases and stuff, right? Same concept. It's think of it like an alias, okay? Think of it like how people have these fake names and they build their fake identities and their branches off for it. It actually makes sense. He used to sell records and perform live shows in Portland under that name. There's some people selling his old mixtapes on auction sites. One's apparently called Dirty Devil and another Dirt Poor. Dirty Devil was 5P's first mixtape from the early 90s. This is a lot of information here. Let's see. Wait, from the early 90s. Wonder how old he is. There's discrepancies and debates about what year exactly it was released based on some of the pop culture references, with the range thought to be somewhere between 1992 and 1994. One of the songs, Yes I Can Jump, seems to be at the center of the confusion. Some fan sites claim there are multiple versions with different track lists and song lengths on them, though because there's very little evidence of the mixtape online as it is, it's even harder to verify that information. Yes I Can Jump, oh god. 5Ps has a lot of information. But this is good though, it's getting us closer. Closer and closer to the truth of who this person was, and what happened to his mom particularly. Yes I Can Jump is a song that was on 5P's mixtape Dirty Devil. It seems to be the only song that didn't make it onto a studio album that people thought should have. In it, he references a popular movie from 1992 called White Men Can't Jump. This caused... This reference has caused some confusion amongst the fan base. It's a comedy movie. Because of it, it's agreed upon that the mixtape had to come out in 1992 at the earliest, but others point out that Fellows references seeing the movie on his 17th birthday. This would have been in 1994. Okay, so was 17 in 1994. That's actually very key. So his mother died in 1993. Damn, his mother died in 1993. Means his mother died in 1993 when he was 16. That's very important to know, because that timeline is actually completely after... What? His mother was a secretary in the late 70s. But she died. Oh, so she wasn't a secretary anymore afterwards. Okay, so what happened that pushed the secretary, that pushed his mother away from being close to Guy? But aside from the obvious. Some take this to mean the album had to have been released in 1994 at the earliest. Others claim that he was likely just trying to make himself sound older, since in response to some of the more questionable lyrics, he has stated multiple times that he was just a dumb kid when it was released. It's very important. Dirty Davy. Dirt Poor is probably the one that talks about his dead mother. Dirt Poor was a mixtape by Dirty Davy. So in a similar line to that stuff. Released in 1996, so afterwards. There's a lot of online discourse from people who would like to point that out in one of the songs. Felix Fellows includes someone that would be revealed to be his own distant cousin, Raina, in the list of attractive women. Oh yeah, this is a guy who was into his own cousin. Yeah. Here, look, you have an example of what would happen, okay? The tree would go like this. So the tree of somebody who's attracted to their own family would go up and do a circle. By the way, Daddy, you never defined contemporary. I did. Here, look, let me Google it. Let me Google it again for you, okay? Contemporary is defined as living or occurring at the same time. I've Googled it for you. Let me Google that really quick. What does that mean? That's a good question, chatter. Let me see what this means. The lyrics to one of the songs, Heat, mentions a few different prominent female actresses, models, and musicians from the 90s, provides a crude pun or line about what Fellows felt about them. When released in 1999, much of the rhetoric was suddenly less overtly profane, and the line referencing Raina was clumsily replaced by Dana, reference to a character from the X-Files. I'm so tired, chat. I think we just call it. But I am curious about the song. Heat. What? Dirt, Poor, Heat. Dirt, Poor, Heat. I can't get the lyrics to it. Maybe I search up these album names in the music thing. Anyways, listen, I think I'm gonna go sleep. I am kind of sleepy, tired. I think this was a fun little time today. We had a good day today where we went through a lot of interesting things. I hope you enjoyed what I did before, and I hope that you enjoyed what I swear to God, we did nothing. We have done nothing in this game. The problem, I need to play this game first, okay? Tomorrow, we're playing this game immediately after. We're not going to leave it to be the very last thing, because we know we don't get any progress. We get stuck talking about topics like my niece getting her like pharmacy internship, my AI status, the fact that none of you understand what it means to be a true streamer. What a classic. But we did learn some new things about 5P, so I am excited about us getting closer. But we really need to somehow connect Guy Hudson to all of these properly. But I'm pretty sure it's Guy Hudson Susie, Christine, Sonia Suarez, Lucy Lang Xin Yu, and this is the one that I have no clue because there's 2 kids. I have no clue. But thanks for watching. The Roottrees are dead. What a great game, and I really do enjoy it. There's a lot going on in this game, but I think it needs a lot of energy to really go through every bit of detail because there's so much to understand and parse through that if you don't, you end up worse overall.